Sup everyone. That's Insolidus choir. Goosebumps, isn't it sexy? Fascinating vibes here. First off, the main feature of this library. I'm just gonna read them from the manual, okay? So you can watch them with me. Let's just bring it in front of you here, okay? So there is Insolidus Choir Library, and overview. It says that the heart of Insolidus is 40 males and 25 females, handpicked by master conductor Petr Polonanik. I don't know the right pronunciation, but sorry for that. The sessions took place over several weeks and with a completely new approach to sampling, which allows it to be completely fluent and effortless to work with. We spared no expense, and the end result is over 89 GB of choral material losslessly compressed to 37 GB. Insolidus contains an advanced phrase builder offering you the ability to create up to 64 strings of syllables. Insolidus contains 8 microphone positions, mixed deca-tree, far, wide and spot 1 to 4, and over 37,600 samples. This library revolves around a deep set of meticulously sampled articulations. It comes with an advanced phrase builder that allows you to create completely realistic choral phrases. The intuitive phrase builder offers you the ability to create long strings of words with up to 64 slots. So, by the way, if you take a watch to the official review by Edai on YouTube, I think you'll have the right perspective of the main idea behind this library. Emotive, emotional, and motion are the 3 terms which come to my mind when thinking to Insolidus. I'm not gonna make a deep explanation of the GUI of this library with all the patches, mixing panels, tweaking scenes and stuff, because of course, as I've just said, you'll find that exhaustive and by no means better description than this one of mine on YouTube, made by Edai itself. So without further ado, let me just change position of the mic in order to speak better to you guys. Instead, I can tell you my takes about pros and cons, drawbacks, I mean, of Insolidus. So pros, real vibes, absolutely. Realistic dynamics of a choir, crescendo, I'm Italian, so say it well, crescendo, sweeps, arcs, and polylegato. So do you want to hear maybe some of these patches? Okay, so let me bring aside the manual, and I have just loaded in this session of contact the patch number 10 of Insolidus, which is called multi-vowels 4-4 swells, and it sounds like that. Do you hear the polylegato I mentioned before? That's insane. Amazing. And the swells, these dynamic arcs are wonderful. Yeah. So these are the pros of this library, real vibes and polylegato. What about drawback? I don't think we have a real drawback, but in case you want to find it anywhere anyhow, the only drawback I think I could think of is probably we don't have a real word builder. You know, the reason why they didn't realize a word builder is put down in a very clear way in the review video. I think we could now have a look to the official video, because it's really self-explanatory and also really fun. Let me just bring here the internet. Okay, so have a listen to it.
That brings up a question that we've gotten a lot in regards to word builders. There's a reason we have not done word builders, and we will not do word builders for future projects as well. Ask yourself this simple question: when did you ever hear a great mockup with acquire that sounded realistic made with a word builder? It doesn't exist. And the reason is that in order to do a word builder, we would need to create something that had legato transitions between every single vowel you could possibly do. And for anyone who is intimately familiar with legato recordings, it's about 4,000 different interval recordings just for one of those transitions. So imagine how many different ways the vocals will actually work in regards to singing between different vowels. So what we've done instead is to build what we call our phrase sequencer, and that's the one I've been demonstrating up here. And the obvious conclusion that many people draw is like, well, I only have like 100 different articulations in this library. I would actually like to be able to recite my own text or my own words or thoughts. But ask yourself this other question: how many people actually know what a choir is singing? And in order to iterate that point a little more, let me just play you a video from YouTube here featuring
you have it
to
check this video out. It's really fun.
It's really the perfect video to describe why it doesn't matter what a choir is singing. The core point with this library and our sort of philosophy of recording is that it has to sound real. And as you can hear in this demo, this is a new generation choir. It sounds a hell of a lot more real than what we've been able to hear in the past. And you have so many different options. Let me also just mention before I play the video that Insolidus is also completely tempo synced. You can go half tempo, triplets, and you can go twice as fast if you want to do that. And we're also doing that for updates for our previous libraries. But let me just get back to the point here in regards to why it doesn't matter whether you have a word builder or not, because nobody understands what a choir is singing.
Okay, listen to that.
Check this one out.
Come on. With
All right.
That's so freaking insane, that video. Okay, just want to let you see this video. It's really fun. So just to briefly recap, you didn't made any word builder because, as they have admitted, these are not ready to it. Technology isn't as well. Present is not yet become future. You know, AI and computer scripts are at the moment a little bit behind the point of offering a fake virtual choir and making it sing like a perfect real one. And when all this comes down in terms of make a virtual choir sing your own personal text and lyrics, well, it's easier said than done, you know. You simply could not do that at the moment with any ease. East West has recently, last year or two, I don't remember if my memory serves me well, has realized its choir library, and the most acclaimed feature of it being exactly an amazing word builder, which I think allows a very deep interaction with words, syllables, editing processes, and stuff. I don't have it, so I can let you know my own impression on it, but look into one or two overviews on YouTube. I guess it's really powerful, but also, I mean, too much complex for the moment, if that makes sense, right? So they have preferred invest their energies on a different product, a choir like Insolidus is, which with no doubt cannot provide you a total flexibility under a word original text point of view. There is a relatively tiny list of Latin syllables, which, as a matter of fact, can't obviously cover the whole spectrum of Latin language. But the choir, and this is my take, but you have to trust me, is actually one of the most realistic ones I have heard till now, anyway. One and not the most, because actually there is another choir library as well, which is really, I think, the top one in my opinion. May I say its name? Dominus Choir. But I'm gonna talk to it in the next vlog. So for the moment, in other words, Edayo has made with Insolidus the same thing stress of sampling, for instance, has done with Afflatus. Come on, I'm Italian. Afflatus. Afflatus is a amazing, lovely strings library made by stress of sampling. So the thought behind these libs is, you know what? Just impossible to make a whole strings in case of Afflatus, or choir in case of Insolidus library suitable for every kind of musical purposes, genres, orchestral techniques, final media destination, TV, advertisement, film, games, drama, epic action, and whatever. We better focus instead on some genres, not all of them, on precise aspects of music techniques, on a certain kind of global sounds we want to give to our product. And that is, I think, a right starting point when producing a worthy and good quality library is taken in account. I mean, you could always spend the rest of your life trying to let a virtual choir sing your own text, but at the moment you're not going to have an happy marriage with that. Times are simply not ready yet. But on the other hand, I think we are not going to wait too much if this is going to be our aim. This will not immediately, but down the road, I mean, sooner or later, letting a choir sing an original text is definitely going to be the next level of art. Next step. Times aren't ready enough, but not too far anyway. Okay. So, now guys, I'm gonna leave you with a piece I composed with this library. It is called Carpem Noctem, and I just want to point out that Carpem Noctem is exactly one of the Latin phrases provided by Insolidus. So that means that I have treated this library in an exactly opposite way a traditional composer may want to use it. That is, I did not start it by my own musical ideas, but from the resources this library offered me. I mean, Carpem Noctem was one of the phrases. Okay, it sounds good, so let's try to turn this vibe into a thing then. I don't have a fixed idea in mind, nor a text to be synced, so let's simply get inspired by the library on itself. Okay? Yes, I know it's maybe not a serious, traditional, academic and skilled way to proceed, but you know, we are not composer. We are not just composer. We are media composers. Probably that means not much of a difference for a traditional composer, but for all composers, out there who work with TV, films, games, and with all those stuffs, with all these equipments, softwares, and rigs. Well, all that's a freaking different world, and in some extent, skills, workflow, and working strategies take a different path. I mean, working with sample libraries, we are more frequently exposed to different inspirational paths. We are definitely inspired by the sound of our DAWs. So what then? Why not? Why should there be something wrong with that? I don't think we should feel guilty or inferior or less skilled or feel ashamed for that kind of artistic approach. Okay? Okay, so I'm just gonna leave you with this piece of mine I wrote, Carpem Noctem. So what else? Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow me and watch this if I can load this. Okay, subscribe to my YouTube channel, I guess. Ding that bell if you want to be notified. One of those is always welcomed, and that is enough talking. Are you ready for Carpem Noctem? Carpem Noctem? Okay. So let me just bring over the score. I'm where is here? Sorry. Hang on. Here, okay. We are now. We are connected to the right perspective. Let's bring the score over here, just in case you wanna follow this piece, not only notes, MIDI by MIDI, but all note by note as well. And what? I think we're okay. Okay. So just a moment. Just want to load this. Just to be sure the main words and syllables are loaded in the right way. Okay, we are now. Yep. So ready to it. Ready. Piano roll. Come on over here. Yeah, and then my score, and then we are. So, are you ready? Okay, let's rumble. I'll catch you next time. Bye.